Do we want to take
Yo,
that back?
what's up?
Yeah.
Welcome to Remember Blank.
Let's take it back.
Xbox edition. I'm Snowbike Mike. This is my gaming dad, Gary Whitta.
That reminded me of a 2009 Charles Hamilton beat.
Oh,
Where it's
yeah.
just-
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, December 15th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Blessing Adeoye Jr., and joining me is the LaCroix Poppy himself, a.k.a. my fellow Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. Tim fucking Geddes.
Good to be here with you today, Bless.
Tim, it doesn't feel right calling you LaCroix Poppy when you don't even have a LaCroix on you.
It's too cold.
You're drinking a hot coffee.
I'm drinking
today.
a hot coffee. I have a cold coffee.
Shout out to GTA
in the
San
wings,
Andreas.
waiting. Okay.
You put it in the fridge right
Shout
before
out to San Andreas
Shout out
for
to
the
San
hot
Andreas for the hot
Exactly,
coffee.
exactly.
I do have a LaCroix. Usually I'm not the LaCroix Poppy, but I gotta have some kind of drink on this podcast. Not alcoholic, of course, because it's the morning.
It is.
Oh, come on, Bless.
It's 10 a.m.
It is the season, bro.
It's 10 p.m. somewhere. Oh, you know what?
It's 10 p.m. somewhere.
Can we get-
That's not the saying.
Can we get
10 p.m. Time to start
Bless,
drinking.
before you say anything, I want to remind you you have a P.S. I love you later in the afternoon.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying maybe tomorrow. Can we get some
Oh,
eggnog?
tomorrow we're getting wild.
Can we get some eggnog tomorrow?
Oh, Kevin,
for the Christmas season.
Tomorrow we're doing the special holiday stream.
Oh, really?
That I don't know the plan for, but I do know that Kevin has very loudly proclaimed that he's going to make the world famous Kevin Coelho snowball. And if you haven't had a snowball,
I feel like anytime
pretty
Kevin
good.
says he's gonna make something that's world famous, that's a Kevin Coelho original, I can't trust it all the way.
yeah,
gotta
See,
worry
I
a little
thought
bit.
that, and then I had the snowball for the first time when we did the Christmas tree vlog back in 2018, before I was even working here, and that was a good drink, Bless. You should try it.
What's in it?
I'm shocked you remember it.
I
Fair.
forget,
Yeah.
but I remember enjoying. Like I was pleasantly surprised and impressed.
Oh.
You can have some of Kevin's snowball tomorrow.
I'll have a little bit of Kevin Snowball tomorrow. Tim,
Real quick,
What's
speaking
up?
of balls,
yeah.
segue. I saw someone flick someone off today on the street, and it's been a while
That's
since
the
I've
best.
seen that. Yeah, and I don't know the context or whatever. And it reminded me of one of those core memories. And this is a weird one, and I've never fully understood it. But my mom always used to tell me, if you're gonna flick someone off, you can't forget the balls. And I always remember being like,
does that
what
mean?
the fuck does that mean? And my mom, when she would flick people off, she would add balls. Like, she would use the other two knuckles to like make balls. I can't really do it because
I don't
digits don't do it
make-
correctly.
Okay.
But like using these two things to make the balls of the dick. And I didn't like when my mom said the word balls to me.
It's the implication that when you're flicking somebody off, you're showing them
You're
penis.
showing them a dick, I guess. I don't know.
I see. I never correlate flicking somebody off with that. I think
Me
that makes
neither.
sense if that is the origin.
I don't think that it is.
But
I
I
think my mom's wilding.
Because I assume it's the thing where it evolves over time. Because I think that makes perfect sense, right? You're flicking somebody off, and yeah, like, oh man, it's a penis to your face or whatever. And it like evolves over time to where we forget that that's where it came from. But y'all, let's get back to our roots.
Let's get back to the roots.
Let's get back to our roots.
Give those things some balls.
give some people some balls. Tim, I have the balls to start this episode with talking about today's stories, which include Sony confirmed Spider-Man 2's release window, finally, Amazon publishing Tomb Raider, and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday at 10 a.m. live right here on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. If you're watching live, you can correct us when we get stuff wrong by going to kindafunny.com/you're wrong. If you don't want to watch live, you can watch later, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, or you can listen later on podcast services around the globe by searching for Kinda Funny Games Daily. Remember, you can use Epic Creator Code Kinda Funny on all Epic Store and Epic in-game purchases like Rocket League and Fortnite to help support the channel. To be a part of the show, head to kindafunny.com/KFGD to write in with your questions, squad ups, and more. And remember, patreon.com/kindafunny will get you the show ad-free, plus a bevy of bonus content. Housekeeping for you, we partnered with NVIDIA to have Mike and Andy show off all the ray tracing, DLSS 3, and Reflex goodness in The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt right after this show live on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. And remember, it is the 12 days of Pabst, and PBR is giving away free stuff on their Instagram account all week. It wraps up this Friday, December 16th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where me, Blessing Adeoye Jr., and Pabst Blue Ribbon are going live together on Instagram and giving away some free stuff during a game of Pabst Drinko to people in the live chat. You have the chance to get a custom arcade cabinet, the PB Arcade, a vintage jukebox, hack to dispense PBR cans, free PBR for a year, and more PBR stuff. It's all at Pabst Blue Ribbon on Instagram, going live with at KindaFunny Vids on Friday with the grand prizes. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twining, One Up Pest Control Gwinnett, Brian Cheney, Alex Greedle, Jason L., Nanobologist, Derek Gregg, Donald Eccles, and Jason L. Today we're brought to you by The Fixture S2, MeUndies, Policy Genius, and Shopify, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 4 stories today.
A baker's dozen.
And Tim, let me tell you, it was almost 2 stories.
Yeah.
It was almost a very short episode of KindaFunny Games
Stretching
Daily.
it out today.
I had to stretch it out, except for the fact that right before we went live for the show, PlayStation came through.
They did.
And finally confirmed the big topic of conversation over the last week. Spider-Man 2 is officially coming in the fall. I am reading directly from the PlayStation blog, where they put up a blog post talking about their 2023 highlights. The year's end is over the horizon, which means, you think they did it on purpose? They did it on purpose. I know you,
sure
PlayStation. Which means 2023 is about to begin. While 2022 has gone out with a god-sized bang thanks to God of War Ragnarok, that doesn't mean 2023 has nothing in store. The coming year is huge for PlayStation, stacked with a lineup of exciting releases. Whether you've been looking forward to the release of ultra-customizable DualSense Edge controller,
I am.
virtual reality adventures with PSVR 2.
I kind of am.
Fantastic. Are you really? I'm like undecided on if I'm even buying this thing.
I'm definitely not buying this. Not a chance.
So you're just gonna
I'm gonna
borrow
use someone
Greg's.
else's and then see how it goes.
Fair enough. If it's not Greg, I'm curious to see who you're gonna find with the PSVR 2.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any of my
Cool
friends that are
Greg.
getting it. Cool. It's gonna be cool, Greg.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the 2 Gregs in the office that are gonna get PSVR 2s.
It would be such a tall order for any VR manufacturer to convince me that I need to own one at this point.
The thing that would sell me, honestly, and I know this is a lot of money to pay for one game. If they announced a new Astrobot Rescue Mission, that might be enough to get me into PSVR 2, because I did love me some Astrobot. But I digress. Fantastical new IPs like Forspoken, or
Sure
sequels to iconic titles like Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Let's fucking go.
This year has something for you. While there's a ton of coming to PlayStation in 2023, this article aims to highlight a handful of the biggest things announced for 2023. Speaking of Marvel Spider-Man 2, let's kick things off with some exciting news from developer Insomniac Games, confirming the release window for the web-slinging sequel. Marvel Spider-Man 2 launches on PS5 in fall 2023. Following the events of Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, the Spider duo of Peter Parker and Miles Morales are back in the next blockbuster action chapter of the Marvel's Spider-Man series. Much is still yet to be revealed about the game, and going off the quality of the past 2 titles, we're bound to be in for a fantastic new original Spider-Man adventure. Read on for a special message from Insomniac. Quote, "What a year it's been for PlayStation Studios. Here at Insomniac Games, we've been in an absolute awe of the work of our peers. Congrats to everyone on a successful 2022. And did you just shock yourself?
I did.
God damn. We've got to put some tape on these microphones, apparently.
Oh.
And here's to next year being just as exciting as we continue to get Marvel Spider-Man 2 ready for release next fall," says Brian Intihar, creative director. The article, or the PlayStation blog post, goes on to highlight the other games, right? Forspoken, Hogwarts Legacy, etc., but it's nothing newsworthy.
It's
nothing
nothing
as
newsworthy.
newsworthy as Spider-Man 2 coming
Yes.
this
now,
fall.
Now, real quick, Bless, I do want to say
What up?
that today just got spicy. We just got some breaking news.
Oh, did we?
Some big breaking news that we will do as story number 2. Because we still
Interesting.
want to talk about the Spider-Man stuff, but just to give you all a tease and everyone know in the chat that we're about to do this, from Deadline, so this is real, a Death Stranding film from Barbarian producer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right.
So things about to get wild.
Get to
But
that in a second.
to talk about Spider-Man, wow, could not be more excited. Like, this isn't news, I guess, because this was already, quote unquote, confirmed a while back, right? Holy shit.
The return of one of the most savory superheroes in the business. Is it news, Tim? The one and only Spider-Man coming in fall 2023, hopefully starring once again. Shirtless Spider-Man isn't news, and and you have the fucking gall to try to preempt and get this out of the way. It's very slick up here.
God damn it. Jesus Christ.
The gall to try and preempt it with this gosh darn Death Stranding news. The news of one Death Stranding movie won't stop me and the Spider-Verse from coming through.
What's going on with like the nose area of that?
What's going on with the chin area? You got a little chin hole going
There's a lot of questions. The mask hasn't been used in a few years,
How
gentlemen.
long? Oh my god.
And it is not doing well, but shirtless Spider-Man is back.
I love how there's a semi-Watto
God.
coming through. Like, just a little bit.
That's just the excitement. That's just the excitement, Tim,
Yeah.
of the world's greatest Marvel superhero returning, hopefully, to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Shirtless Spider-Man.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I don't know how you got back there without a scene. Like,
It's been a while since I've seen
did you
shirtless Spider-Man.
crawl on the freaking the roof?
Yeah, how the fuck did you get back there?
Shirtless Spider-Man never tells his secrets.
This can't be good for the mic. This can't be good for the mic.
We're back.
We're
Jesus
back,
Christ.
everybody. Oh my
Shout
God.
out shirtless Spider-Man.
I have not
So
been,
much could have gone wrong.
I have not been that scared in a very long time. Like, I was like utterly surprised there, and I just realized the reason I got shocked. My new jacket I was wearing, Static Supreme. Everything about me was like, I got shocked like 4 more times. Like, he popped out, and then I got shocked. So it was a lot. So I had to throw my jacket over there.
Now, I mean,
Great.
shirtless Spider-Man.
Here we go.
Thank God.
Too much power.
Thank God for the return.
God, that's awesome. That is awesome.
I wonder. This is actually great.
Mhm.
Shout out Barry, if you're watching on, or if you're listening on audio services, I implore you go over to the YouTube channel, just see what's happening in the video right now, because shirtless Spider-Man is truly taking over. Does this mean we're gonna get a full year of shirtless Spider-Man? Is that the real news story here? Is that we're gonna have to deal with this
to deal with this
for the
menace.
next
And
10 months?
Neither you or me were here the last time it was real. It was real. You know?
That is true.
See, we're gonna need to find shirtless J. Jonah Jameson to crack this code. Figure it out.
I feel like Barrett might know shirtless Joe Jada. Joe,
Is that right, Barrett? You're not sure?
I may or may not know shirtless J. Jonah Jameson. I honestly, like, I'm friends with the guy who takes pictures of J. Jonah Jameson.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Got
Okay.
it. Got it. Okay. But he takes pictures of J. Jonah Jameson.
He needs a photographer. He needs a photographer.
Got
Oh,
it.
Greg.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
I'm watching on a delay. I came to take pictures.
Yeah. Oh,
He
no.
went that way. He went that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Greg, what are your thoughts
That
on
way.
Spider-Man 2?
You know, whatever. We knew it was coming. It's not that big of a deal. I'm more excited about the Death Stranding news. You should do that.
Got it. Got
All
it.
right,
Got
cool.
it. All right.
Well-
Well, we'll get to the Death Stranding news in a second. Rating this in just a little bit, everybody. Spider-Man 2, like I was saying, this isn't necessarily news. It's more just an update of things we already knew. But to me, that's extremely exciting. Things that we need, especially as we're getting into the year this game is going to be coming out. And I have full faith. Insomniac has proven themselves now time and time and time and time again in the last couple years of bringing the goods at a rapid pace, right? Them announcing Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine at the same time is one of the most wild video game moments of all time. I'll never forget being there with you, reacting to it all and being so excited of like, wow, the PS5 is about to bring the heat. And they've been bringing the heat. And I am most interested now in the fact that the heat seems to be on a little bit of a pause until the fall area. Like,
You think so?
well, what's going on before
See,
then, right?
and that's what brings this to. I do consider this news just for the idea of I could have seen this coming before fall, right? And the idea of next year when we're talking about PlayStation first party, PlayStation Studios games, the only game really announced aside from PSVR 2 stuff, because there is PSVR 2, right? Horizon Call them out and all that stuff counts. But we're mainly talking about Spider-Man 2 being the console release. Of course, they're exclusives. Of course, we got Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, right? And that comes next year. But what does that mean for the rest of the slate of PlayStation Studios? Is there more of a slate of PlayStation Studios games coming next year? Does this mean that maybe, and this is me stretching, right? This is me hoping, right? Drinking the copium of if we get Last of Us Factions announced, or at least detailed next year, does that end up being a summer title? Is there something else coming in the summer or in, let's say, even spring for PlayStation?
I don't know. I mean, you're bringing up a lot of good points where, again, I'm not complaining. I don't think that there's
Of course.
an issue. If we
I'm
do
not mad
get,
at next year.
If we don't get a first-party title from PlayStation until this, that I don't think is going to affect Sony or the viewpoints on Sony at all.
Not at all.
Because of everything you just said, including the amount of exclusives that Sony has. A big question I have, did Death Stranding 2 have any release window or anything attached to it?
No, I don't think
Okay.
they even said a year.
Yeah. Doubtful that it's next year, but not impossible to be next year,
Mhm.
right? I wouldn't think it would be anytime early. But I think the earliest we'll see that game is potentially like a November, maybe in October next year.
Yeah.
Don't think that's the case. I imagine that is a 2-year out game. But on the Square side, like you said, we have so many games coming out. Two of the biggest titles. I mean, arguably, Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 are two of the biggest Square titles ever, right? Especially with how much kind of goodwill Final Fantasy and Square has been able to bring back to the brand and reinstill the franchise with a enthusiasm that hasn't been there in a very, very long time outside of Final Fantasy 14. That is a very different experience for very different groups of people, right? But like Final Fantasy used to be like a core franchise on the PS1 days and then the PS2 days, and I feel like it then kind of like fell by the wayside a little bit around Final Fantasy 13 coming out of still being major, but it wasn't like one of the mainstream games. Whereas I feel like now it's one of the mainstream games for gamers in general, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for me, when I look at this news story, another thing that pops out is the fact of how they're calling it out as the Spider Duo, right? The Spider Duo of Peter Parker and Miles Morales are back in the next blockbuster action chapter of Marvel Spider-Man series. And I know that's not a surprise. In the first trailer we got last year, it was very much, hey, this is Peter and Miles' game. But seeing them talk about it more, right? This really does feel like, oh man, I can't wait to see gameplay, because I wonder if it is going to be a switching back and forth thing. I wonder if it is going to be a chapter by chapter thing, or maybe even if you're switching characters on the fly or choosing your characters before missions. That's the thing that I'm curious about now when it comes to this game, because like how do you separate this from Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Miles Morales' games, right? Do you even need to? My thing is, I think that could be the special quote unquote gimmick, right? Or I'll say feature, right? That could be the special feature that makes this Spider-Man game stand out from the Spider-Man games we've gotten before. Oh shit, you got 2 Spider-Man to play around with. What does that look like in gameplay?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's interesting, and where I feel like in a very cyclical conversation, where we started talking about Horizon, and then like, okay, what does the sequel need to do to really stand out? And I think that was a very different conversation than God of War. What does Ragnarok need to do to stand out?
Yeah.
Can it just be more of the same? If it's just more of the same, quote unquote, can it still be a Game of the Year contender? And well, hey, we're on the other side of both of those now. We can kind of understand what each one did similarly, differently, and in the case of God of War specifically, which I think is more similar to the situation Spider-Man's in, sometimes just more of the same is more than okay, right? Like, I feel like all of us would be perfectly satisfied just getting more Spider-Man. I think that you're onto something here with the multiple playable characters. I mean, that's essentially confirmed. How does that play out, though? How differently do they play? We know they play similar but different when it comes to the combat, even that we saw with Miles Morales in Spider-Man Miles Morales. My biggest question is, how do we make New York now for the 3rd time not just feel like, oh, we're in the same place again? You know, I feel like that's going to be the bigger challenge than making the 2 characters feel different enough or whatever. They're still fun to play. It's still going to be fun to swing around New York, even if it's the exact same New York. But I do think that this being the first PS5 pure, so not being on PS4, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, then
So far, it's correct.
Then I imagine that they're going to want to like up the ante, and I do think are they staying in New York? Is there a chance they go somewhere else?
Yeah, I would love for them to take it somewhere else. I don't think they'll take it somewhere else just because of
either.
the nature of the story in the place that we're in. But if they took it somewhere else, I'd be so down for it, because we've gotten now so many Spider-Man games that have taken place in New York, right? Spanning from before even the Insomniac Spider-Man games. I have played the Spider-Man PS1 games. I played the Spider-Man PS2 games, right? Plenty of people played the Spider-Man PS3 games. Most of the Spider-Man games, of course, because Spider-Man, take place in New York. I would love to see us go somewhere else. And that's something that I think they might hold on to until Spider-Man 3. Right, like that feels like more of a, all right, let's give Spider-Man 2 for Spider-Man 2. Let's maybe focus on making the 2 Spider-Man the highlight of what makes this game special, and then maybe for the next one, take it elsewhere. But
I mean, having said that, like looking at what Miles Morales did special compared to the first game was really kind of get into the districts, right?
Yeah,
and kind of like make it a more kind of lived-in experience, and giving it that Christmas theme really did change up the vibe and the feel of the same exact city. So if they applied that to the entire city for the sequel, that could be really exciting. And I think that would be enough to kind of make it feel next gen, make it feel like a true sequel as opposed to Miles Morales, which was like, I don't even know how you define that game, but like, I mean, I freaking loved it. I know some people
Of course.
I'm not trying to be that. I'm not trying to be
hated.
Greg Miller. You know what I mean? But I again could not be more excited for this Spider-Man. I've seen so many people. I think Cameron Kennedy talks about it a lot on Twitter. And I see Chris Anka talking about it as well. And like I feel this way where Spider-Man is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't necessarily need to say it's the best or anything, but like at any given day, if you're like, hey Tim, you need to play Spider-Man for an hour, I'd be happy about that.
Hear me out.
What's up, Barrett?
Crazy idea. Just rolling back to Blessing, you talking about like eventually we got to get out of New York as Spider-Man, right? We know it's Venom. We know
Venom.
Kraven the Hunter. What if they do something buck wild? And this is definitely a pie in the sky theory. He captures all of them, all three of them. We go to a jungle, and he turns it into the most dangerous game.
I love that. I would love that. I feel like that's more. I feel like that's a level though, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't,
more of like a sequence, kind of like the Scorpion one from 2018, where it's like very specific.
There is a going back to Spider-Man 1 on the PlayStation 2. There is a Kraven the Hunter section in that game. That was what introduced me to Kraven the Hunter, and I was like, this is the coolest motherfucker ever. I love this guy, Kraven the Hunter.
Raven's dope.
Because it was
That's
like an
a great
obstacle course
idea,
I had to
though,
go through.
Barrett. Like that'd be so. I mean, just imagine the mechanics of swinging and stuff in a jungle.
Yeah. Oh my
Zip
god.
line. Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's freaking go. And yeah, I mean, talking about the future of Spider-Man, you know, like, does this game introduce Spider-Gwen? Right? Can we get multiversal in the games?
I
after
hope
this?
not. I really, really, really definitively hope not. Like, I am a huge fan of multiverse stuff. I always will be. I don't think I will ever burn out on it because I just love it so much. And I think it's really intriguing as an idea. And it's just cool and it allows for exciting moments. And I'm a big fan of exciting moments. Fucking sue me. Having said that, there's something special about this contained universe. Let's keep it contained. Insomniac Spider-Man being in Spider-Verse, I love that. That's super cool, super fun. But there's something special here. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories ever. And that's coming from somebody that loves Spider-Man. I've read thousands of Spider-Man comics, at least 1,000 Spider-Man comics. I've watched pretty much every one of the animated shows in some form, completed most of them. Like, I know Spider-Man. And the Insomniac games are some of the best representation of what a Spider-Man story can be, what the characters can be. And I want them to keep building that because I think that at the end of the day, it could be one of the most important parts of the Spider-Man ethos overall. And I don't need that to have the like exciting moments of multiverse because it has exciting moments of its own.
1000%. Tim, let's talk about this breaking news. Death Stranding film based on the hit video game is in the works from Barbarian executive producer Alex Lebovici's Hammerstone Studios and Kojima Productions. I am pulling from Deadline. This is written by Matt Grober. Exclusive, hot on the heels of announcing Death Stranding 2 at the Game Awards, the gaming auteur Hideo Kojima Productions has partnered with Barbarian executive producer Alex Lebovici's Hammerstone Studios to develop and produce a film adaptation of the former's hit video game Death Stranding. The film is being fully financed by Hammerstone, will be produced by Kojima and Lebovici via their respective banners, with Kojima Productions US and Alan Ungar serving as executive producers. Connecting with more than 10 million worldwide since its 2019 launch on PlayStation 4, Death Stranding features an all-star cast including Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Léa Seydoux, Guillermo del Toro, and Margaret Qualley. The game challenges players to reconnect a fractured society after the cataclysmic Death Stranding event, which has opened up a doorway between the living and the dead, leading to creatures from the afterlife roaming the fallen world marred by a desolate society. Carrying the disconnected remnants of humanity's future in its hands, players embody Reedus' Sam Bridges as he embarks on a mission to deliver hope to humanity by connecting the last survivors of a decimated America. The plot for the project, marking Kojima Productions' first ever feature adaptation, is being kept under wraps, but we hear that it'll introduce new elements and characters within the Death Stranding universe. It's not clear yet who will write and direct the pick, though we understand it's now on the fast track with development underway. Quote, I couldn't be more excited about this new partnership with Hammerstone Studios, said Kojima. This is a pivotal moment for the franchise, and I'm really looking forward to collaborating with them in bringing Death Stranding to the big screen. We are thrilled and honored, it is a different quote, we are thrilled and honored to have the opportunity to partner with the brilliant and iconic Hideo Kojima on his first film adaptation, added Lebovici. Quote, unlike other big budget tentpole video game adaptations, this will be something far more intimate and grounded. Our goal is to redefine what a video game adaptation could be when you have creative and artistic freedom. This film will be an authentic Hideo Kojima production, end quote. And all in the article there's more you can read if you want to go on Deadline. But Tim, a Death Stranding film. Finally, Kojima gets to do a movie.
This film will be an authentic Hideo Kojima production. Wow, bless.
Good for him.
Wow, we finally made it here. Not the way I would have wished it.
Yeah.
Of course, I would have wished we'd get the Metal Gear. We're getting a Metal Gear? Question mark. Will that
Seemingly,
ever actually
one day.
happen? I'm still really hopeful for that. I'm really, really holding out hope that Kojima is involved. We know he has been a little bit. Like, we'll see how it all actually shakes out, if it shakes out, et cetera, et cetera. Oscar Isaac is Solid Snake, though.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Let's go.
I'm really excited about this, though. As somebody that didn't love Death Stranding and didn't love playing Death Stranding, I'm excited to watch Death Stranding for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there is something there, and Kojima has something to prove. We've seen it forever. We understand this man to an extent. We understand what he enjoys immensely, right? He is a fan of Hollywood. He is a fan of film. He is a fan of cinema. All of those words in all their different iterations and for all the different things that they mean, right? Whether it's blockbuster pop culture stuff or like the super indie, emotional, like inside your mind shit. Kojima's proven that he can do both simultaneously and absolutely nail it. Also make some missteps and be a little weird and confusing sometimes. And I think overall, everything he's done, there's value in. Even if we don't always love every decision or love this project or that project more than the others or whatever, it's like there's something special about what Kojima does. And in this time, I broken record Tim here, video game adaptations better than they've ever been, seemingly only going to keep getting better year after year. I can't wait to see what this can look like, what this does for Kojima Productions, what this does for Death Stranding 2, Death Stranding 1, like all of that. Like, it's really interesting, and I feel like there's a really exciting prospect to me that we often see video game movies or TV shows just be like, hey, we're making a Halo show.
Yeah.
Or we're making a this, we're making a that. And then it's like you watch it and you're like, why didn't you use the Halo music? Why didn't you use this character? Why didn't you use this actor? Why this, why that, whatever. We see the Mario movie trailer and they're using Mario music.
Yeah.
Unabashedly. A lot of it. It doesn't feel like the music is a cameo. It feels like it is part of the soul of what this movie is. Then you look at things like The Last of Us, and it seems like they're absolutely nailing the tone of the game, the vibe of the game, the point of the game. With this, Kojima has shown such love to Hollywood actors in so many of his games, like getting him in specifically Death Stranding, right? Of like just look at the cast of Death Stranding. Having Guillermo del Toro, that should explain everything I'm trying to get across right now, right? But he also has a love for people like Troy Baker. He also has a love for the people that are associated most with video games. And I think this could be in the same way I'm praising Mario music in the Mario movie. Who the fuck would have thought? I think Troy Baker will be in this movie.
You think so? You think
I think that
do you think the movie cast is going to be the same as the video game cast?
I would not be surprised if it is exactly the same. And that is something
that would be
that
the
only
thing.
Kojima can pull off, and only Kojima would want to pull off. And I respect the fuck out of that.
And for me, that would be the thing that would make this a special project, right? If it is, hey, we're going to be so faithful that it is going to be the same cast. You're going to get the same, like, when you're playing the game and you're watching the movie, right? It's nothing's going to break the immersion because it is going to be almost one for one in terms of what the representation of the cast looks like, right? I know for a fact there's going to have to be concessions because Death Stranding, at the end of the day, is still a video game, and a lot of what makes that story in that world and all of that work is the fact that you are playing a video game and you are having to make those deliveries yourself, right? And that really drives home the fact of like, hey man, I am playing as Norman Reedus, right? I am playing as Sam Porter Bridges, and I got to make these deliveries, and I am like out here doing the work, right, as a delivery man, but like I am being elevated and like attacked, right, because of my role in this post-apocalyptic society. I think so much of that works because it's a video game. And at first blush, seeing the headline one, I'm like, okay, happy for Kojima, good for him. This is something that he's probably always wanted to do. Go get him. But I'm also like a bit trepidatious because Death Stranding is it's such a cinematic game already that doesn't really need adaptation, right? I had this this is the thing that I had with the Last of Us movie or Last of Us HBO series as well, and that HBO series has done a good job of selling me. I'm all in on Last of Us HBO now. At first, I was not, because I'm like, dude, this is already practically a movie. Does it really need adaptation? It's not like, novels or comics or whatever where you can put, where it's easy to put your own spin on it, right? It's easy to take a real life actor and put them in a role and go, hey, you believe this is Iron Man because you've not seen a real life Iron Man before. I know how Sam Porter Bridges looks. I know how the world of Death Stranding looks, right? I know how the structures and the facilities in the game and like all these different things, they're represented so well in the game, and so they're so well realized in the game that I could see myself watching a movie and going, oh, that's not how that looks. Oh, that's not how that vehicle should look. Oh man, the backpack's not on their back right. Like it should be stacked straight up. Like I could see myself judging that stuff. But if they do go as far as to go, hey, no, it's gonna be the same cast. We are trying to recreate this thing faithfully. Of course, there's gonna be liberties taken because we have to because of this movie. But if they're able to, the Sons of Liberties, if they're able to, I guess, recreate the game well, right, and really capture the soul and the heart of what makes the game, then yeah, I think this could be fun. I think I'm all for this.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard, though. It's going to be difficult.
Oh, I mean, this is a tough sell just for general audiences. This is not The Last of Us. The Last of Us, slam dunk, going to be a huge success. Everyone's going to fucking love it. Death Stranding, we'll fucking see. But I
Death Stranding is also a weird-ass story, too.
Yeah, dude. But again, let's get fucking weird.
Let's get weird. Tim, speaking of weird, let's hop into story number 2. Amazon Games will publish Crystal Dynamics' next Tomb Raider game. This is Wesley LeBlanc at Game Informer. Amazon Games will publish the next Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider game, which was announced earlier this year. In April, Crystal Dynamics revealed that it was developing the next Tomb Raider game in its series that began with a reboot back in 2013. They did so during the State of Unreal 2022 presentation, revealing that this Tomb Raider sequel, the 4th in this rebooted series, will be built on Unreal Engine 5. Now, Crystal Dynamics has announced that Amazon Games will publish this sequel. Amazon Games and Crystal Dynamics today announced they have reached an agreement under which Crystal Dynamics will develop a new multi-platform Tomb Raider title, with Amazon Games providing full support in publishing the game globally, a press release reads. Quote, the as-yet untitled new Tomb Raider is a single-player, narrative-driven adventure that continues Lara Croft's story in the Tomb Raider series. It includes all the elements that have made Tomb Raider one of the most revered franchises in gaming, giving players control of the confident and multidimensional hero Lara Croft in an environment that rewards exploration and creative pathfinding, with mind-bending puzzles to solve and a wide variety of enemies to face and overcome, end quote. The press release says the studio is using Unreal Engine 5 to make this upcoming game the most expansive Tomb Raider game to date. The sequel is currently in early development. Crystal Dynamics studio head Scott Amos says following Embracer Group's acquisition of the studio earlier this year, the team, quote, has an extraordinary opportunity to redefine what a publishing relationship is for Tomb Raider, end quote. Quote, transformative is what we're looking for. And with Amazon Games, we found a team that shares our creative vision and values for a Lara Croft universe across the spectrum of possibilities. They're uniquely positioned to rewrite what publishing and development collaborations are, and we're eager to forge this new path together, starting with building the biggest and best Tomb Raider game yet, end quote. Random.
Very fascinating.
Yeah.
This is a potential shift in the industry that could have so many ramifications for how games are made and distributed, where you think about Amazon, right? And like they are already the biggest distribution platform, period, when it comes to being able to ship physical things, but they've also have digital. They also have their entire Amazon Web Services and all that stuff, like with the cloud. I'm interested in the, Embracer Group out there, gobbling up all the IP. Now they have Crystal, which means they also have Tomb Raider. For them to not really work on the Embracer side, but instead to go to Amazon, that is interesting. I feel like at first blush, you're just like, that seems like a weird call, but you're also just like, well, there's so much money there. And to see what Amazon Game Studios has done in the last decade, where it's really been trying and it hasn't really nailed it or been able to maintain momentum at the very least. Even if they have a win, I feel like we haven't in the industry seen the ripple effects of like, oh, they figured out the pipeline of what this could look like from inception to success. But this kind of does feel like a perfect storm of potentially the right timing of them having an IP backed by a talented team with a like character franchise people care about that has had great games even in recent times. I do think the brand overall hasn't been tarnished, which is good, but it also isn't like the most hype exciting thing because it doesn't feel like it's been gone long enough for us to be excited about a Tomb Raider. But if they position this as a new game, like they say it earlier of like to continue Lara Croft's story in the Tomb Raider series, you could take that multiple ways, right?
Yeah.
Like to literally continue it in the last 3 game story or just continue the franchise overall. I bet it's that more than anything.
I'm under the impression that like I think this is either a reboot or reimagining of what Tomb Raider is. I don't think this is a sequel to the last one. Even though the article kind of calls it that, but I don't know if we've gotten.
But that's the thing.
And there's like there have been like leaks and kind of talks about this being like an older Lara with like a
Yes.
new team and stuff like that. So it maybe, you know, because Crystal was the one who did the trilogy, right? That just came out a few years ago. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, maybe it ends up being, and like, God, I know I'm being real crazy hopeful with this, but like maybe it's more of a Logan situation where it's like, yeah, it is a sequel to the X-Men movies, but it's
Yeah.
also not really. But like in
At
any
the,
way
ve-
it
at
matters,
the very
it
least,
is.
I think that's what it'll be.
And that's cool. Like that's a great idea, and I feel like there's a lot of potential there, and that's the word of the day for this story to me is potential. Like I feel like there's a lot here that could work out. We'll have to see, but again, to me, it goes back to the momentum of Amazon Games and what they can actually provide, and can this be the big moment that creates a shift in how some people think about being able to partner with publishers to be able to get things out there, which we've seen so many times before. I mean, even look at Death Stranding and like how it got on PC and things like that. So Amazon has the money, they have the ecosystems, they have the ability to get this game into people's hands. So
Yeah, I personally like this. I like that they're partnering with Amazon. One, because Embracer as a group has been very shaky when it comes to what goes on in their internal publishing. We've seen so many games come out where it's like, oh man, like Saints Row. We've seen Biomutant. We've seen like more come out of Destroy All Humans. Not that like those are bad or anything, but it's been very double A and like very varying degrees of success when it comes to Embracer Group, right? So much so that you see Embracer buy the Crystal Dynamics, and I go, oh, I don't know if that's what I want Crystal Dynamics to be under. And so them partnering with Amazon Games makes me a bit more confident. I know Amazon Games is another one that's a bit shaky in terms of what their track record has been, right? We're talking about Crucible, which I think came out and was unreleased in the same month, right? I remember trying Crucible, and I want to say I tried it with maybe Andy or somebody, and we were like, it's whatever. And that went away pretty quickly. They had New World, and I know KindaFunny got into New World for like a week or so, or maybe a couple of weeks, but I feel like there's not been much talk about New World since 2021. There was Lost Ark that came out at the top of the year that, again, KindaFunny got into for about a week, but that's another one that if I asked you, did Lost Ark come out this year, how many of y'all would have been like, oh yeah, that game came out, right? Like Lost Ark, I feel like kind of came and went as well. But all that said, right, you have Blue Protocol, which was announced at the Game Awards, and that is one that is being developed by Bandai Namco. And that game looks raw. Like, that game looks pretty cool, right? Like, there's a handful of people I've seen online, including myself, that are a bit excited for Blue
You
Protocol.
motherfucker.
I'm talking about me. I'm excited for Blue Protocol. God damn it. It looks good. But you have that, right? And I think that is a step in the right direction for Amazon Games. Yeah, all right, you tried doing stuff on your own. They've not been hidden. As a publisher, maybe look toward people who have already done great work. Bandai Namco have done great work, right? Bandai Namco is at the point where it's like, oh, y'all aren't just doing great work. Y'all are putting out Game of the Year contenders, right? In terms of publishing, right? Because they published Elden Ring this year and have had great games in the past. Yeah, partner with Bandai Namco. Yeah, now partner with Crystal Dynamics. See what a new Tomb Raider does for you. And I like this especially because it gets us out of it strengthens the idea of third party more, right? Like we talk a lot about lately we've been talking a lot about PlayStation and Xbox in terms of Call of Duty and Xbox buying Activision Blizzard, right? Xbox buying Bethesda a couple years ago, PlayStation buying Insomniac, PlayStation buying Bungie, and we talk a lot about the possibility of monopolies to some extent, right? I think it'll take a minute before we get to a true monopoly, but in terms of consolidation, we're seeing a lot of studios go under a couple of umbrellas, and my big fear when it comes to different studios going different places is that we end up in a place where everything is first party, and I think that's an unexciting place to be.
I mean, the one thing about what you're saying, I think you're absolutely correct, but I do think you are overlooking one key element, which is the likelihood of within the next 10 years, Amazon themselves
for sure.
buying one of the first parties and becoming the first party.
You're 1,000% right.
Very high.
You're 1,000% right, and I don't think Amazon is the answer to like leading us out of this monopoly situation. But I do like the
where we're at now.
For where we're at now, things being spread, because I do think in very easily in a different timeline, like PlayStation is publishing this Tomb Raider or Xbox is publishing this Tomb Raider. You know, I think that is a very easy place for us to have gotten. So I do like that we're seeing publishers get spread out a little bit more. Would I like to see 505 Games or other smaller publishers get more rights to games like this? 1,000% yes. But at the very least, I do like that we're seeing Amazon that is. I have faith in them in terms of, you know, Amazon's not going to go away tomorrow. Amazon's not going to like fucking fold and then all of a sudden like, oh shit, all right, we lost another one. Like Amazon has a lot of money, and I think they have the ability to publish a game and have it come out and hopefully be good. Oh, Greg Miller.
No.
No. We just got a random Starbucks order? What's in it? Do you know what's in it? Because I'll take it. If there's a warm drink in there, I'll for sure
What
take
if
it.
it's someone who here who ordered it? You check Ask Mikey?
Maybe it's somebody who's not here yet. Maybe they ordered it to.
Maybe Nick?
Joey's not coming in today.
If we
No
can't find
Raj
an
today?
owner of that Starbucks, Greg, just bring it here. Just bring it here,
Yeah, I could
What
do another coffee right
a
now.
disaster.
honestly.
ladies and gentlemen. Did shirtless Spider-Man order it? Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe it was probably shirtless Spider-Man.
Maybe,
that
you
ordered
know,
it.
Got it.
Probably he thought he was going to be here longer, so he ordered it, and then he forgot about it and swung away.
That makes sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what you should order and not forget about? Patreon.com/KindaFunnyGames, or on Patreon.com/KindaFunnyGames, you can get exclusive content like I was gonna say bless you, like Kind of Feudy, like the Shit List, like plenty of more great episodes of exclusive content. You can also go and you can get the show ad free. And speaking of ads, let us tell you about our sponsors.
Shout out to Fixture Gaming for sponsoring this episode. The Fixture S2 is now available. It's a sturdy accessory mount that connects the Nintendo Switch OLED model to the Pro Controller. This mount was created specifically for the Nintendo Switch OLED model. We here at Kinda Funny have been using the Fixture S1 for a very long time. It's been my go-to to play on the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Both the S1 and S2 let you take your games anywhere while enjoying the Pro Controller's legendary precision and comfort. No longer will you suffer through Joy-Con drift. The thoughtful design of the Fixture S1 and S2 can be seen in the patented 2-axis system with sturdy metal hinges. Both the S1 and S2 can be used in tabletop mode. If you go to fixturegaming.com, use code KindaFunny, you'll get 5% off of your order. Fixture Gaming is also running a holiday sale on Amazon this week from December 12th to 16th. Get $5 off the Fixture S1 and Fixture S2, $5 off the carrying case bundles, and $10 off the Ultra bundles featuring the Fixture S1, S2, the carrying case, and Fixture's gaming controller. So check it out. Make sure you use promo code KindaFunny. Shout out to MeUndies for sponsoring this episode. Who doesn't love getting new undies for the holidays? Nobody. That's who. MeUndies is your go-to spot for snuggly, soft undies and more that all your loved ones will adore. Get merry in matching sets perfect for binge watching or holiday your way, however you like, with new limited edition prints. You can try MeUndies and get 20% off your first purchase, plus free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/KindaFunny. You know how much I love MeUndies. I literally don't leave my house unless at least my undies and socks have that super soft micromodal fabric that I talk so much about. You can spend less time gifting and more time living with the new MeUndies holiday collection. MeUndies has something for every name on your list. You can shop classic plaids for dads, holiday sweater prints for fun friends, and the softest loungewear ever. All the cuddly ones in your life could need. Available in sizes extra small to 4XL. It's here for everyone. And you can get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee by going to MeUndies.com/KindaFunny. That's MeUndies.com/KindaFunny. Shout out to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. We love Shopify here at Kinda Funny because we use it to run our very own KindaFunny.com/store. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere. Whether your thing is vintage, teas, or recipes for ghee, start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of your favorite businesses worldwide. Shopify has all the sales channels sorted so your business keeps growing from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform. And thanks to 24/7 support and free libraries full of educational content, Shopify's got you every step of the way. It's how every minute new sellers around the world make their first sale with Shopify, and you will too. When you're ready to launch your thing into the spotlight, do it with Shopify, the commerce platform backing millions of businesses down the street and around the globe. Go on, try Shopify for free and start selling anywhere. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/KFgames, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/KFgames to start selling online today. Shopify.com/KFgames. Shout out to Policy Genius for sponsoring this episode. Life insurance is the type of thing you never hope you need, but the reality is mortgage payments, childcare, and other expenses don't disappear when you're gone. Policy Genius gives you a smarter way to find and buy the right coverage for you and your family. It was built to modernize the life insurance industry. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes and from top companies like AIG and Prudential in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $17 per month for $500,000 of coverage. And Policy Genius has licensed agents who can help you find options that offer coverage in as little as a week. They're not incentivized to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. There are no added fees, and your personal info is private. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find it and buy it. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com.
Tim, we're going to hit a point in late 2023, maybe 2024, where there's going to be like 8 different video game movies and TV shows coming out at one time.
Dude, I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, for decades, we've had video game movie and TV announcements, and then nothing ever comes from them. Those days are over. Like, we're at a point now where things are announced, and then 3-4 years later, they actually happen. And thanks to comic book superhero movies, which now there's one coming out each and every month, right? Like, we're about to see that for video games, and it is, I don't think, going to end for a very, very long time.
I just hope they're good.
They're getting better.
They are.
Getting better,
Shout out
everybody.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog,
Also,
too.
Let's go.
important update
What up?
about the Starbucks coffee. It was Andy. Andy ordered it.
Okay.
Oh.
And you ordered it on the way here and got it?
Yeah, that's
Good
what
for
he
him.
usually. That's usually what he does too, because he'll do that when he comes home. Like if he's going out to the gym, working out and stuff, and then if we're getting home and then someone's delivering something, I'm like, I didn't order dinner, and then Andy shows up like 5 minutes later at home. It's like, oh shit, all right.
That's usually my move when I come back from like the airport, where I get my Uber. Once I set my Uber, immediately go to DoorDash, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a meal waiting for me
When I get home.
When I get home, I'm gonna eat good. Let's eat good. Story number 3: Valve opens up about the Steam Deck 2 and other hardware plans. This is Saim Ahmed at Dexerto. In a recent interview, Valve stated that they are looking into improving the Steam Deck further, addressing battery and screen concerns, in addition to more juicy details about a potential Steam Deck 2. Valve's Steam Deck has been flying off of the proverbial digital shelf, wouldn't it be a physical shelf? Oh, what's up, Andy? I almost took that coffee, just so you know. I got so close to drinking that coffee. Valve's Steam Deck has been flying off the proverbial digital shelf, which again, I'm going to say is a physical shelf, because like these are hardware. Hardware. This is hardware.
Mm-hmm.
They're on shelf somewhere. Maybe not in a store, but in a factory, in a storage unit. They're on a shelf. While the company has found success with the handheld, there's clear room for a lot of improvement for a Valve Steam Deck 2, a second-generation device that we could potentially see officially announced in the future. Directly addressing this in an interview with The Verge, the company stated that they're not looking to rush one out the gate just yet. They stated the following, quote, "Right now, the fact that all the Steam Decks can play the same games, and that we have one target for users to understand what kind of performance level to expect when you're playing, and for developers to understand what to target," end quote. They followed on to state that they intend to keep the current Steam Deck's level of performance for a little bit longer until there is another meaningful bump in power. Valve continues to iterate on hardware and software. The Steam Deck's fan issues caused them to completely swap out one supplier with another. Now they've replaced the current Steam Deck with the old fan manufacturer's revised options, which have been shipping since October. Valve claims that this will allow for the Steam Deck to operate slightly quieter thanks to an adjusted fan curve and a thin piece of foam. Additionally, the company stated that they are working on making adjustments to the battery, which will make the Steam Deck's battery much easier to replace and loosen. The company also wants to see more manufacturers make use of Steam OS 3 and potentially bring back the Steam boxes, a failed effort for Valve to push devices running Steam into the living room. They are already testing concepts, according to the interview, and are looking to work with third parties to make it happen. Valve's original Steam controller wasn't exactly very well received and was retired in 2019. However, many design elements returned refined in the Steam Deck. They once again stated that they were looking for third parties to partner with to make a Steam controller 2 work. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, again, broken record Tim, everybody. Corey Cudney, where's the GIF? I want an OLED screen. That to me is like the big make or break thing for this stuff, where the Switch changed me. I mean, I've been changed for a long time when it comes to OLED, but playing games on the Switch now, Switch OLED, just makes the games better. And I can only imagine.
Honestly, Tim, you're right. You're right.
What could that do for games that are actually running great?
Wait.
Wait. You know what I mean? That's all that I want, bless.
I hear you.
Was that
And
too much
honestly,
to ask?
like the Steam Deck or an OLED screen would take a 10 out of 10 piece of hardware, which is the Steam Deck, and turn it into an 11 out of 10. I definitely understand it.
The
It sounds like you're not
direct
going to get it soon,
comparison I have is the Persona 5 Royal ports, and like trying it both on Switch and Steam Deck. Where like, yeah, Switch is like lower res, but because of the OLED screen and handheld, like the color pops so much more. And so, but the Steam Deck, the graphics are much better and stuff like that. But you don't get the those nice reds that are popping off screen. So yeah, it's tough.
And look, here's not that this is the topic, but it kind of is in some ways. Like, I know that this is a take it or leave it type thing. I, over the last 5 years, have come to really love the versatility of the Joy-Cons, where specifically playing Pokemon Violet now for 70 plus hours. I have like 30 left, everybody. I'm going to catch them all. I'm going to catch them all this holiday break for sure. I might be hitting you up on Twitter. Best friends out there need to do some trades, okay? The surprise trades aren't doing that great for me. I know there's these trade codes that you use, and apparently, if you're a Scarlet player, you're sitting pretty. You're getting everything. For some reason, Violet is just so hard to get those Scarlet exclusives. I'm counting them down.
I imagine more people probably have Violet because Violet's probably the better one.
I think more people have Scarlet because it's like the canon one. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, everybody. But anyways, I digress. I've been laying in bed and playing that game in a bunch of different ways. Like, I have never played a single game in more different configurations than Pokemon, where sometimes I play on the TV, sometimes I play the tabletop mode with the Pro Controller, with the Joy-Cons. Oftentimes, I've been playing in bed handheld, and eventually I get kind of tired of the position, and then I'll just
Dude, I know that. I know the exact feel.
Just lay down, put it against the pillow.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I have my bedside table, and I did that a few nights.
You need to help Michael Hyam because Michael Hyam has a dock for his bed that'll hold.
Yeah, so does Andy.
Yeah, it holds up his screen, his switch screen for him while he's just playing with his controllers.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's awesome.
Fucking great. Kevin has something similar to that as well. Like, I love that shit, but I just love being able to have that versatility of the options. And there's the problems with the drift, and I hate how at overtime, like, the hinges get really loose and like it just doesn't feel good and whatever. But I love, and even dating back to the Wii, I remember just the freedom of playing like Mario Galaxy 2 and just feeling like I'm able to like play under a blanket. You know what I mean? In a different way than like that. And this is dating it all, but like thinking about PS2 controllers with the cables and stuff. But I just love the Joy-Cons, being able to play in weird ass positions that sometimes you just got to get in weird positions.
I feel that.
I haven't been in love with the Steam Deck. Have very limited experience with it so far, but haven't been in love with how it feels. I'm very particular about how controllers feel, D-pads, buttons, and stuff, which is funny.
Speaking of controllers,
talking about Joy-Cons, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, see, this
remember
thing's
the
a
Steam
disaster.
controller? This thing was dumb as fuck. Can we all just admit that?
I never understood. I never got my hands on a Steam controller.
Not good.
And looking at it, I'm like, I don't know how this would even
Why
work.
would they curve it like the other way? Like, were they just trying to be different? You know, like
I know
the
I
way
talk
the
about Jet Force
handles-
Gemini way too much, but in Jet Force Gemini, there's like a little robot companion that you get in that game, and it looks like this. It looks like the Steam controller.
That is so
Look up
funny.
Floyd Barrett.
But a sponsor of the show today, the Fixture S2, I freaking love that thing. The S2 is for the OLED and S1's for the non-OLED. I've been using these things for years, but it allows you to use a Pro Controller with the screen on it too, and I've been playing that way as well. Again, I just love the versatility of it, but there is nothing like just the sturdiness of the Steam Deck, just being one whole thing. But again, I don't really love the button placement and how that all feels, and it's a really specific Tim thing, but I am hoping that whatever the Steam Deck 2 is what I'm looking for, and whatever weird specific shit's in my mind that makes things either feel right or feel wrong.
Oh my god, hold on.
I still love my
Blessing
Steam Deck so much.
nailed
Yeah, right.
this. Hold on.
Yeah, Bear's gonna bring up my guy Floyd from Jet Force Gemini because he looks just like the Steam controller. But last night, Tim. Actually, here it is. Here it is.
Oh
This-
my god,
this
that's
Floyd.
funny as hell.
Look at this guy.
Look at this little fucker.
This was my first robot companion in a video game. Now
Never
they're just
forget
all
your
the,
first.
they're all the rage, right? You're out there, you're getting your clanks, you're getting your
BD1.
your BD ones, you're getting your clap traps. This is the first. This is the OG. This is my guy.
B12.
B12. Is that another Star Wars one?
That's Stray.
Oh yeah.
How could you forget?
How could I forget B12 from the hit game Stray, Game of the Year nominee at the Game Awards?
Indie Game of the Year, according to some.
Goddamn. Last night, Tim, I was playing some High on Life, and I think I'm doing a chapter a day in High on Life. I think that's my plan for it. I'm enjoying it, but I want to there's so many other games I want to play. Games like Hades, which I booted up on my Steam Deck. Funny enough, I looked at my hours on Steam already because I played a lot of Hades back in 2020. I played 20 hours of that game. And just didn't. I got halfway through. That game is a long game, apparently.
Oh,
Hades.
it's real long. But the thing that I love about Hades is it is just infinitely rewarding. Where I feel like you don't need to beat that game for it to be
1000%.
like one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
And if you beat it, it only rewards you more. And if you beat it even more times, it only rewards you more.
So I booted up. I was like, okay, well, this makes sense that I played 20 hours of Hades because I felt like I had played 20 hours of Hades. But I went back into the game, started another run just because I was like, you know what, man, Hades 2's announced. Let me get back in the Hades flow. And goddamn, what a good game Hades
What a
is.
good
Hades is a
game.
fucking good ass game.
Dude, and you know,
And on the Steam Deck, oh, that shit was hitting.
but
too.
going back to what I was saying earlier, it's like playing Hades on the OLED makes it feel like a brand new game because those vibrant colors, those like strong colors are so good and poppy.
Gotta love poppy colors in Hades.
Poppy.
Story number 4, our final news story for the day.
Really quick, I just want to say they call Tim Color Poppy.
Color poppy.
They call him OLED Poppy.
OLED.
Poppy.
Oh, I like
OLED
that.
Poppy. Justin Roiland explains how he got away with putting Space Applebee's and High on Life. This is Jordan Midler at IGN. High on Life director Justin Roiland has explained his use of Space Applebee's and High on Life as a parody when questioned on its inclusion by a fellow developer. High on Life, a first-person shooter developed by Squanch Games, which was released earlier this week, is full of references and in-jokes. These include self-referential quips about video game cliches, name-dropped games media outlets like IGN and Kotaku, and some more direct references to real-life brands. This was highlighted by Gears of War creator Cliff Bleszinski, who took to Twitter to post a screenshot of the in-game restaurant Space Applebee's, a not-so-subtle homage to the American restaurant Applebee's with the caption, quote, "How the hell did they do this legally?" If you're watching the video version of the podcast, Bear brought up the image. Can you bring the image back up? Because I haven't gotten to Space Applebee's yet. And like this is kind of a spoiler when I read the news story, but I was like, that's actually really funny that they just put Applebee's in the game and called it Space Applebee's.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
great.
It's fantastic.
Have you started High on Life yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Are you going to?
I'm hoping to give it a shot over the break. There's so many games to play.
There's
and,
too
like,
many games.
That's great. Yeah. High on Life
Where's
though.
Sports Story?
Where's Sports Story?
I'm
Damn it.
I don't know, man.
It's like
It's
because
really
it's
upsetting.
honestly.
I wanted it to be around for Game of the Year talk next year. Blessing.
I mean,
I honestly
they said
just don't know.
December. I think we're gonna get it.
Hold
in the
on.
next 15
Everybody,
days. What up?
stop. This is very important. It might be the most important thing that's ever happened on this set, besides shirtless Spider-Man showing up. That was really
Are you guys how many
exciting.
Sports Story codes been sitting in your inbox
No.
for last week?
Every time Greg Miller sits here and he has his MacBook looks like it got hit with a golf ball.
Mhm.
And there's a big ass dent on it. And I always see the chat popping off about the dent on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And someone in the chat was just like, "What happened to Tim's laptop? I have the fucking dent."
Yeah.
Is
it's
it
the
a lighting
reflection.
thing?
It's, yeah,
Oh,
it's the
what the fu-
reflection of
It's the reflection of this fucking thing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We had that revelation a week or two ago.
Huh.
Well, wow. Somebody should have informed me. I feel like that is the
Sorry,
utmost
Did your,
importance.
did
Okay.
like, your gut drop for a second because you thought there was an actual dent in your laptop?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
It's like, who the fuck is
Wow.
gonna mess around my laptop?
Anyways, there we go.
One day
Sorry.
we'll actually put a dent in your laptop, and then you'll just think it's the desk.
What a great thing.
Oh, shit, is that a threat?
For a second, I was like, that was a very Kevin thing of you to say, Barry.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the most Kevin thing you've ever said.
I don't know. I've said very Kevin things before in my life. That
But
I've
here's the thing: we're gonna get Sports Story
Mhm.
in the next 16 days,
Do you believe it?
or else. this is a threat. This is
this is an actual threat.
That's right. That's right. You thought it was a prediction. No, it's a threat. Where's the fucking game? I want to play Sports Story. Damn it! I've been waiting years. Where's this game? It's not, for the record, it's not really a threat. Take it. If you need to delay the game. Take your time. But where the fuck is the game? You know? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but
Where the fuck
I'm
is Sports
scared,
Story?
everybody. Get
God
him
damn
the game. Somebody get him Sports Story.
It's
Get
like-
him it now.
It's the reason why I've decided not to get too into The Witcher 3 because once Sports Story comes in my inbox, all games better clear the fuck out. I'm playing Sports Story for the next week and a half.
I get it.
Whew. Anyway, back to the news story.
Back to the news.
In response to Cliff Bleszinski, KindaFunny's Greg Miller, who had hosted Roiland on KindaFunny Games Daily earlier that day, asked the creator how he was able to include it in a video posted to Twitter.
Do we want to display it?
Just play the video. Yeah.
Justin, it's Greg Miller from KindaFunny. Cliff Bleszinski wants to know how you did Space Applebee's legally in High on Life. Legally.
It's parody. It's a parody.
Oh, fuck, you're going to jail. Justin, it's Greg Miller from
That's
KindaFunny.
fantastic.
Cliff Bleszinski
The article goes on to explain how parody works. I'm not going to read all the legalities of it, but that's really, honestly, I'm enjoying the humor of High on Life a lot. Like, I know it's going to hit people differently. I know a lot of people are like, it's cringe, it's whatever, and then other people are enjoying it. I'm on the side of people that are enjoying it. I think it's a really funny game. I think the gameplay could be better. Like, it's not the best shooter. Like, it's, pretty double A in terms of like a lot of how it feels and looks, and like it's not the best game graphically, yada yada. But I'm enjoying the ride. I think the ride is a fun one, and so if you
I'm
like, some Rick and
excited to
Morty-
give it a shot. Like I've said before that like if this is getting like 8s, I'm gonna be excited for it. It seems like it's getting a little lower than that. But talking to people and like seeing the vibes of people that I know personally, I'm like, all right, maybe I'm gonna give this a shot. I have just missed out on pretty much everything Justin Roiland's ever done. Like I've seen one episode of Rick and Morty. Not that I disliked it, I just never kept watching. So this will be my first real like dive into that insane world.
I'm so curious on how you receive it, because High on Life, I would say, it's not my favorite. Just Justin Roiland. You know, Rick and Morty probably is the best that you're gonna get out of his work so far. And Accounting Plus also very good. Trover Saves the Universe I did like a lot. High on Life I think there's just a lot in there, and some of the jokes don't hit, but then some of them do hit. But it's tough, right? Like especially when you're doing a first person shooter video game where it is, nah, man, I just want to go to my next objective. And so, like, the game expects you to stay in there for 5 minutes and listen to, like, one character ramble off all their voice lines until you do the next thing. And it's like, no, man, I want to go to my next objective. I think you miss out a lot of the comedic timing that's way easier to do in a cartoon like Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I'm curious to see how you take to it. If anything, I would say, if you have the time, go watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable, for sure. You got to get past, like, the first 2 episodes, though, because, like, the first episode of Rick and Morty is all burping and vomit.
Yeah,
if you can get past
everybody
that, though.
has their bad pilot. You know?
Yeah, it's not great to start off.
Is the pilot the one with the one episode I saw was one where a small white dog had his testicles taken?
Oh, where are my testicles?
Yeah.
No, that's a few episodes in, I think. That was a good.
That's the one that I saw, and then I remember when we had to what's the word? It's not castrate, neuter. when we had when we had to neuter Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Like people kept sending me when I tweeted a picture of him in his little cone, and then everyone was like sending me gifs of that, and it looked like Moose questioning me, "Where are my testicles?" It's
Where
not
are my
castrated.
testicles, Tim?
Tim, I can't wait to see when you finally get to watch Rick and Morty, but I'm sure that day is probably just so far away. If I want to know what's coming out to mom and grop shops today, where would I look?
I love when we make the segues and we're just so not confident in it that we like stutter ourselves into thinking like, how do I make this make
Is
sense?
this
But
gonna work?
it does work. It does make sense. But you know, the answer is the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily show host each and every weekday.
Yeah.
Another weird thing, since we're just talking about weird shit.
What up?
I've noticed I've been slurring a lot more recently. I
Really?
don't know what it is.
Is it all the beer you're
drunk.
drinking before?
It's all my fucking beers, baby. No, I don't
Tim
know.
is walking
It's
in like
something-
Stone Cold Steve
Something's
Austin.
going on with my mouth where maybe it's not slurring, it's more lispy. Do you guys hear that?
I don't hear
Now I
the
feel
lisp.
like I'm like getting it going.
I
I
think
don't
you're
know.
just you're getting too into your head about it.
You're just self-conscious. Yeah.
Maybe. Self-conscious.
It's all the
pop.
lights. And the
All of
cameras.
the lights.
No, we don't. No, we can't do that anymore. We can't even do it again. I was really gonna say, man, I promise, Tim's so self-conscious.
God damn
and
it.
I was like, no, I can't say that anymore. I can't say that anymore.
What's
I can't
out
say that
today,
anymore.
Bless?
Man, apparently Evil West. Out today, we got Blacktail for PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. River City Girls 2 for PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Mask Maker for MetaQuest 2. Frontier Hunter Urza's Wheel of Fortune, early access for PC. Melatonin for PC, which I played through Melatonin. It's a really cool game. It's like a little rhythm game. It's like Rhythm Heaven. I've not played Rhythm Heaven. People have compared it to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, it's like a chill, really short rhythm game with a fun, like almost like lo-fi beats to study to kind of art style. Really enjoyed it. Played it on Steam Deck. We also got Car X Street for PC and mobile.
Let me interrupt you one more time. I promise this will be the last time this episode. When we were redoing the studio, when we were doing the studio and we were about to launch it with like some rebranding and stuff, one idea I had was to for the stream starting soon thing, I wanted to commission somebody to recreate the girl studying,
Oh my
but
god!
with Milk Mommy.
That
So
would be
you're
fantastic.
welcome that I didn't do it.
Yeah,
want everybody to know.
That would.
If you want, I could. If you want, I could. If you wanted to take like a looping video of me, I can sit by a window and just like work on Kinda Funny Games Daily, like, work on the dock,
Yeah.
and just have that playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let me know. Let me know. I'm
Figure this
available. We also got Bots Are Stupid is out today for PC. Cassiodora for everything. Game V Room for PC. Grime is out for everything. House Flipper Pets VR for PC. Stride Fates for MetaQuest. And The Crack Pet Show is out today for Switch and PC. The Crack Pet Show.
Crack Pet Show.
New dates for Barrett, if you have a chance, if you can look up the Crack Pet Show, I'm very curious. New dates for you. Ayuden Chronicle Rising Physical Edition launches on January 26th on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5. Arcana of Paradise, The Tower, gets a new release date set for April 20th, 2023 on Switch and Steam for PC. Inkulinati releases to early access on Xbox Game Preview in January 20. Let me say that again. It releases to early access and Xbox Game Preview on January 31st, 2023. And then Resident. What the fuck are you looking at?
Crack Pet Show, man. It is.
You asked and I delivered.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh, wow.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it lived up to the name. These are definitely pets that are cracked up. Goddamn. Oh, it's a roguelite and a bullet.
And a
hell.
bullet hell.
Blessings in now.
Yeah,
He's into
that's
the
my
crack pets.
That's my kind of
Crack Pet
genre. Right there.
Poppy.
And then Resident Evil Villages VR mode launches February 22nd as free DLC. What the fuck, man? Yo, video game developers, they got Unity, and all of a sudden they're like, we can do anything. They got access to Unreal Engine. They're like, yo, let's make some crack pets. Tim, I know we're running late in the show, but there is one write-in. There is one question that I gotta dive into because it's a real good one. It comes from JakeBakesCakes, who writes into KindaFunny.com/KFGD, just like you can, and says, here are some quick rounds of a video game version of Marry, Fuck, Kill for 2023 video games, except instead your choices are delay, immediate release, and cancel.
Oh.
Delay,
Love
immediate release, cancel.
Love this.
All right, he's got a bunch of different ones here. So let's start off with Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2.
Cancel it.
Fuck you. Starfield. Sorry, that was guttural. That came from the heart. We got Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Starfield for delay, immediate release, cancel.
I don't think that my answers are going to be too big of a surprise, but cancel Starfield, delay Zelda. I want Spider-Man now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The longer we delay Zelda, the more of the chance I'm going to have a new Switch.
Okay, that's a fair play. That's a fair play. Oh, for me, it's immediate release, Zelda. Delay Starfield, cancel Spider-Man 2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You really did hate Miles Morales. God damn.
I mean, I think out of these three, because I'm really looking forward to Starfield. I haven't played
I'm looking forward to Venom.
I haven't played a good Bethesda game since like 2015.
Yeah,
you say
Fallout
ever?
4. No, I was kidding. I was
I was about to say.
That comment was made in jest.
Let's say.
Fallout 4, though. Yeah, you're right.
Next one: Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, Armored Core 6. Delay, immediate release, cancel.
Y'all ain't gonna like this answer. Y'all ain't gonna like it at all. We are canceling Armored Core, everybody. Canceled. You're done.
Wow.
Then Resident Evil 4 out now. Dead Space we can delay.
I would do out now, Resident Evil 4, cancel Dead Space, delay Armored Core 6. Mainly because I think Armored Core 6 is probably gonna get delayed anyway. Next up, we got Final Fantasy 16, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6.
Final Fantasy. Oh, you know what? Street Fighter 6 now. Delay Final Fantasy 16. Cancel Diablo 4. I'm sorry, people.
Man, I'm gonna go release Street Fighter 6 now. Cancel Final Fantasy 16 only because we have so much Final Fantasy. We get 2 Final Fantasies a year at this point, and we're getting Rebirth in
This
like a
is
year.
a core one, dude.
And then delay Diablo 4 because Diablo 4 is looking real good. I really want to play Diablo 4. People are selling me on it.
Same. Yeah, Mike and Joey really sold me on that, bless.
Next up, we got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Forspoken.
Oh, well, that's an easy one.
Oh, it's chaos time for me, baby.
That's an easy one.
Star Wars, release it right now. Delay Forspoken and
What?
just destroy
What?
Suicide Squad.
Wow.
Yeah, done.
Wow.
No,
I was
done.
I was gonna say cancel Forspoken, delay Suicide Squad, and then give me Star Wars right now. Star Wars is looking dope.
Yeah.
Are you
Same.
Bear? You played the demo for Forspoken? I know. Tim
No,
told me before
I
he hasn't.
watched some gameplay. I listened to you talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, no, this game is not it. Not it.
Still haven't played the
And
demo.
I need one more Kevin Conroy Batman performance, Tim. All right?
I appreciate that. I don't.
What?
Goddamn. Goddamn. Next up, we got Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Dead Island 2, Wild Hearts. This is all I'll say. Give me Wolong Fallen Dynasty right now. That demo blew me away. Dead Island 2, delay it. Because I think that game could be good. I'm not confident in it, but I'm like, after playing Dying Light 2, I'm like, yo, you know what, man? I'm gonna start having more faith in these games because like when they hit, they can hit. And then Wild Hearts, I don't really care about Wild Hearts that much.
Yeah, all three of these are kind of like take it or leave it. I want Wolong to succeed though. Wild Hearts, I feel like I can't even remember exactly which one that is. Dead Island 2 could not care less if it gets canceled or not, personally.
Then we got Hogwarts Legacy, Skull and Bones, and Crash Team Rumble.
Oof. This is just another one for me that's hard because I don't care. Like I'm not gonna play Skull and Bones. I'm not gonna play Hogwarts Legacy. I'm gonna play Crash Team Rumble once.
Once?
Yeah, but
wow.
I will be shocked if I get gripped by that game from what we've seen of it, what we expect it to be. But that's the only one that I really care for. You know what? I'd want Hogwarts Legacy out right now, if only for my brother.
I'm canceling Skull and Bones. I kind of, you know what? I'll do Hogwarts Legacy out now and then delay Crash Team Rumble. Because Skull and Bones, I feel like Ubisoft wants to cancel Skull and Bones. Like, if I'm being real here, I feel like they don't even care about that game. Assassin's Creed Mirage, Crime Boss, Rock-A City, Pikmin 4.
Ooh, tough one.
Now we're getting in the weeds.
Tough one.
You know, I'd want Pikmin 4 out now just for Lakers Head.
Okay.
In the chat, you know, give him that.
See, I want Pikmin 4 delayed to mess with Lakers.
Oh,
Head.
damn.
Assassin's Creed
Goddamn.
Mirage out now because I want some old school Assassin's Creed. And cancel whatever the fuck Rock-A City was.
Nah,
that we
man.
saw.
Rock-A
Ah,
City.
no,
Rock-A
I
City
want
is
Rock-A
like fuck.
City.
That looks like
Let's
that looks like
delay it.
booty, dude.
I want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Pikmin 4 out now. I'm not even a Pikmin person, but I understand how long y'all been waiting for that game.
We got Tinykin, bless. Who
We did
cares?
get Tinykin, but like, let's give Pikmin fans something, and then delay Crime Boss Rock-A City and cancel Assassin's Creed Mirage. How many more? Oh, we only got a couple more here. Redfall, Stalker 2, Forza Motorsport. I feel like this.
That's another one for me that I
Redfall out now just so we stop hearing about it, you know? Get Redfall out now just to get us a fucking Xbox game, you know, Bless?
Honestly, I feel you, man. Give Xbox a win. No, Redfall out now because I'm actually looking forward to Redfall. Stalker 2 delay. I'm not a motorsport person. I like Horizon, and so I would cancel Motorsport, but I feel like that's an unfair matchup. And then the last one is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Lies of P. How are you gonna do Bomb Rush Cyberpunk like this? Have you seen Bomb Rush?
Up. Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks cool.
All three of these games, I mean, Hollow Knight is the one, right? And even for me, I still haven't made it through. God, I don't know that I'll ever make it through Hollow Knight. I played that game so slowly over time. But God, what a video game, what an art style. Everything about it is fantastic. So Hollow Knight, I'd want out now for one Andy Cortez and for the gaming industry as a whole. Lies of P looks really interesting. Bomb Rush looks really interesting. I don't want to cancel either of them. And I get to do that.
I'm going to cancel Bomb Rush purely just because I've never seen it before. I'm going to go Lies of P out now because I know that that's more my jam. And then delay Hollow Knight Silk Song to fuck with Andy.
Damn.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I'm sorry. I'm looking forward to you, but Lies of P is speaking to me, and so I'm going Lies of P out now. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, I'm gonna delay it, and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, I'm gonna cancel it, and then Hollow Knight Silk Song, I'm gonna delay.
Two quick things I want to say. Mr. Hawks in the chat says somehow Crime Boss looks like an NFT collection, and I can't explain why. That's fucking hilarious. And shout out to JakeBakesCakes for a fantastic question.
Yeah, 1000%.
This was really good.
I want more questions like this. If you're feeling a spark, right? If you want us to like go down some activity like this, write into KindaFunny.com/KFGD. It's free now for anybody who wants to write in. We got like 80 write-ins today because like I put it out on Twitter that like there wasn't much of a big news day, and then it turned out to be a big news day with a couple of breaking news. But yeah, write into KindaFunny.com/KFGD. JakeBakesCakes, great job. Now it's time for KindaFunny.com/You're Wrong, where you write in, let us know what we got wrong as we got it wrong so we can correct it for those watching later on YouTube and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Let me tell you, Kebabs,
Christ.
we need to get you a day job, bro. Kebabs is all up in this thing. Hold on.
Well, they're in another time zone, I think.
We need to get you a night job, Kebabs. Let's see. Somebody wrote in about what a snowball is. It's not a You're Wrong. That's not a You're Wrong. Kebabs writes in and says, Amazon has just announced a Tomb Raider TV series. Wait, is that real? Hold on, let me
No, it's a video game. He replies to himself in the You're Wrong.
All right, Kebabs, you're in timeout. You're in timeout, Kebabs. I'm not reading any more You're Wrongs for today.
Get back to your night job.
Get back to your night job. And that's it. That's it for kindafunny.com. So you're wrong.
Nailed it.
It turns out we had Know Your Wrongs. Kebabs was just in here talking to himself. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for me to tell you about tomorrow's host. Tomorrow on Kinda Funny Games Day, they're getting Tim and me. That's right.
Hell
We're back
yeah.
at it like a bad habit. If you're watching this live right after this, you're getting The Witcher 3 with Snow Bike Mike. If you want to catch that stream later, you can subscribe to youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Remember, this has been Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and weekday live right here on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. We run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. Until next time, game daily.